between my mom and Anali, mostly coming from my mom. She thinks that Anali should be speaking more English, cooking more American food. I'll hear my mom say something like, "Oh yeah, there's a lot of dishes here," and what I know that means is the dishes need done. But Anali doesn't understand the language enough to pick up on that tone, so I have to kind of be like, "Hey, mom, don't do that."
Okay, so he's identifying mom's attitude, identifying what mom has been saying. Interesting. So the question is, where is this going? What is the point that Clayton is trying to make here about his mother? Is he trying to say that she's too much in the way? And if so, what is the solution? Well, we better get into that one.
Sure, my son's taken care of. I know he's a big boy and a grown man, but I mean, never heard Anali ask her soon-to-be husband if he wants something to eat. A little chicken and chicken and chicken and chicken.
It's so wild that like she's got an issue with the fact that Anali doesn't ask him what he wants to eat, but yet she still is making food for him. I mean, listen, if Clayton is a big boy, as she says, I'm pretty sure if he didn't like something that she was feeding him, he would happily say, "I don't like what you're feeding me." Like I really don't understand the mom's point. It'd be very different if she wasn't cooking for him at all, but she is.
And he likes beef, Yeah, if I had a place to go tomorrow, I'd go. Because I have a feeling that's what you're trying to do.
And to kick you out. When I first started this K-1 visa process with Anali, I was expecting everything would go well, but the whole thing defensive and takes things really personal. She often doesn't see that she might be part of the issue. So,
to be honest with you, I have been very surprised that Clayton was willing to basically get rid of his mom. I didn't see it coming, and the reason why, it wasn't based on his character. It's based on the fact that each time we meet anybody who lives with their parents, they never actually want to leave their parents behind. They always want their parents to still be there regardless. They want the person they're with to accept their parents. I mean, don't get me wrong, of course they end up moving out at some point anyway, but generally speaking, the storyline's always around that person sticking around their parents most of the time. So to be fair, I like the fact that he's taking that initiative straight off the bat. But at the same time though, it's Anali the kind of person that is worth that, because Anali, I just feel like Clayton at this point could do so much better than her, because she is hard work, and hard work in a very unnecessary way.
But my mom needs to get her own place. Now that her being in the house is affecting mine and Anali's private relationship, I'm hoping that, she'll do it as soon as possible.
I do wonder though, if him and Anali was having that intimate relationship all the time, even the mom in the house, I do wonder if his attitude would still be the same. For all we could know, he may be thinking about getting out of the house only because he's thinking with his and not necessarily because she's actually in the way. But either way though, mom still gotta go.
I don't think she has a desire to learn English. I don't know, I shouldn't say that, but...
Clayton y su mamá se están quejando de mí en la cocina. Se siente muy incómodo y tenso el lugar cuando ellos están hablando y solo puedo entender algunas cosas.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay.
Ooh-wee. I mean, listen, first and foremost, mom complaining about his woman while his woman is in the house is ridiculous. But then again, at the same time, though, so was he. But the difference is that his mom asked him a question, and I guess Clayton has an issue with not issue, but I guess he cannot lie to his mom. If she asks him a question, he's more than happy to oblige and more than happy to answer, which, fair enough, I respect it. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, though, I do feel like she'd be like, "Hey, mom, we shouldn't be saying anything about her while she's in the house." Now, of course, because she doesn't speak English, mom thought that, she wouldn't be able to understand, and so did Clayton. But at the same time, Clayton literally said that even though Anne doesn't know what mom's saying, he's still able to pick up the vibes of mom when mom has been off. That's why he needs mom to be gone. So it's a bit interesting if you ask me, but we continue. Oh yes, and let's talk about that a bit there as well. Literally, this guy was literally talking shiz about his woman with his mom, and he goes to give her a kiss. That is wild. I'm not surprised that she rejected that. I'm not surprised to the slice. I feel like when it comes to reading the room, there's a big problem in this dynamic. Reading the room is a big thing that they all I don't want to say all of them can't do, but I just feel like when they all read the room, they all ignore what they've read in the room. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you can feel the tension, the awkwardness through the screen. So why he thought it'd be okay to try and give her a kiss is bizarre to me. At the same time, though, for the mom to think it's okay to ask her son or to speak to her son about his woman is wild to me. But then for him to then also respond to her is wild to me. This whole situation is simply what? Well, I said enough times, so yeah, you get the picture.
Si hablabas más inglés, pudieras ayudar más.
El problema es que tú no tienes comunicación conmigo. Nunca me dices qué exactamente falta. Tuve que yo misma hacer una lista y decirte, esto tenemos, esto no.
Anali's really good at gaslighting. It's frustrating because she has like this emotional mind and I have a logical mind. And even if something makes sense, if it doesn't feel good or feel right to her.
Rápido, puedo entenderlo, pero creo que si ella estuviera en mi lugar, no hablaría ni un poco de español.
I mean, listen, does Anali gaslight him? Probably. I mean, does she respect maybe his wishes and all that kind of stuff? Probably not. I mean, in next week's preview, he tells her that there should be no strippers at your Hindu or whatever you call it, and literally there's gonna be one there. You know what I mean? So yeah. I mean, listen, I just feel like the level of respect in this relationship is lacking massively, and I'm gonna say it's probably lacking more. Ooh. I was gonna say it's lacking more from Anali, but then again, he was very disrespectful to her in front of his friend. I guess the respect in his relationship is lacking in all fronts, to be honest with you. The mum isn't being respectful, Clayton's not being respectful, Anali's not really being respectful. The sister is actually the one that is being respectful by trying to help him land the wedding and trying to help her also have a hen party or whatever you want to call it. It is weird though how the sister is the one that came in as the most respectful one to begin with, but now she's the only one that's actually, you know, kind. Freaking wild. But also, let's talk about that though, about the mum saying Anali doesn't want to learn English. I mean, listen, I don't know if that's true, but Anali made a very good point though. Mum is complaining about me not wanting to learn English, but would she ever want to learn Spanish? Now that's a good question. It is tick for tack situation, isn't it? So that is a very good question that Anali does bring forward at this moment in time. But as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to these two, I just feel like they're not a match because I just feel like Anali cannot bring the reassurance that he needs. He wants someone to be obsessed with him and only be around him. She's not that. He wants someone that's going to prioritize him and make sure that everybody knows that she's with him. It literally took, what, after 2 years or however long they've been together for her to finally make a post, and he had to convince her to even make the post? That's not a good sign. She should be doing that because she wants to, right? But at the same time, though, she clearly doesn't want to be with a man that is still living with his mum. I couldn't tell you the type of man that she needs to be with personally because her character is very closed off and very reserved, which is another reason why Clayton shouldn't be with her, because he needs someone that's going to be way much more open, less reserved, and be more, you know, reassuring. But either way, though, even if Clayton found that person, he still needs to get rid of his mum. That doesn't change. But nonetheless, though, you let me know what you're thinking. We can talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.